just going to wait for her to connect, and then we are going to get going. Just connecting.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm not too bad. How's your weekend been so far?
Oh, really good actually.
Yeah.
I've been cooking, which, it's quite stressful, because I'm cooking for one and I end
Okay.
up just cooking for a family of like 5 people.
Well, that should last you over the week.
Yeah,
Meal
I
prep and
know.
all that.
It's true. My mum's like, freeze it, freeze it.
Yeah, that's it. Meal prep. Okay, so welcome, guys. Those of you who are just joining us, I am your host, Erin Dussard, and I am joined by the amazing ANISHA Joshi. Have I pronounced it right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
good job.
Um, ANISHA, you are an award-winning osteopath. For those who are not aware of what an osteopath does, could you just give us a kind of brief description?
Yeah, so we are musculoskeletal experts that treat acute and chronic injuries. So whether that is you spraining your ankle out on a run or doing a home workout, or if you have something more chronic like degenerative changes within your spine, that's the kind of stuff that we can help people with
Wow.
with our bare hands.
Oh yeah, magic hands.
Yeah, that's what they say.
And you're an award-winning osteopath. So what was the award that you won?
It was Principal Osteopath of the Year, 2019. So that was
Wow.
last year. And yeah, so that was awarded by the Institute of Osteopathy.
So that means you're the best of the best.
No, yeah.
Yeah. Don't be humble. Now's not a time to be humble. Congratulations for that, and hopefully you get it again for 2020.
Thank you.
So what I wanted to know is kind of how did you become an osteopath? What was your kind of journey into becoming an osteopath?
I really wanted to help people, and sort of, I just found like it was really rewarding. My sister is an osteopath. She's 7 years older than me, and I think
Was the
her
path carved
passion,
out for you?
kind of. I actually tried to not do it because
Okay.
I was like, oh, I can't copy my sister. But
Yeah.
then actually, I decided that. Well, actually, she sat me down and said, I think you'd make a great osteopath. So I've always been like a people's person. I like building a rapport with my patients. And I think I looked at other professions and I just felt like what I like with osteopathy is you get to see the journey, and it's more about preventative care rather than sort of just putting a plaster over the
Mm-hmm.
situation.
Yeah. And
Um,
how long have you been practicing?
so I graduated in 2008. Um, I know, I look great for my age. You don't have to say it. But yeah, I graduated in 2008 and I bought my clinic in 2010 in Hertfordshire. And then I expanded into central London about 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, so you have more than one clinic?
Yeah.
What areas?
Hertfordshire in Hitchin. And
Okay.
then,
One of our members is from Hitchin.
oh, really?
Yeah.
It's a cool place to be, Hitchin.
Yeah, her and her friends call themselves the Hitchin Girls, so
Oh,
I've heard quite a lot about it.
yeah. I was going to say something then, but I'm not sure it's appropriate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Sunday. So as an osteopath, do you come across like what kind of common injuries do you come across?
We literally treat a lot of stuff. A lot of people think that we only do backs,
Yeah, that's what I
but
thought.
actually, yeah, actually, it's a 4 to 5 year degree to be an osteopath, and we literally do look at from your little toe
Yeah.
to like right up to your head, and we dissect human bodies and really look into everything. So we see most commonly, I would say, there's your lower back pain, sciatica type pain, And then more, I would say, definitely in the last sort of, gradually over the last 10 years, 5 years, I've seen a huge increase in people that have a lot of upper back and neck issues. And I 100% put that down to devices and screens. There's been a massive increase in people obviously using their screens, and so I think that has a massive impact on people looking down.
No, I have noticed that as well. Phone just rang. How have you kind of got through the lockdown?
Well, we're allowed to stay open during lockdown, so that's good. We're considered essential healthcare services by the government. In the first lockdown, we were asked we all just shut because that's what whole country went into lockdown, didn't they? But this time it's good. We're considered essential care, and lockdowns fine. Obviously, I'm seeing a lot of as you know, people are working out from home. And it's great. It's great that people are finding this new way of keeping active and moving their body, because it's so important to keep moving. And that's part of what I think lockdown is developing, is people are realizing actually that they're sitting more than normal, or they are, I think people don't realize how much they actually move in their office. You know, even if it's just turning to look at someone to say, like, did you send that email? You know, everyone is like this now, like on a meeting or Zoom or whatever it is. And I think that does impact your body, and getting that movement from home is so important.
So anyone that you've kind of seen recently, has the injuries that you've kind of noticed been kind of synonymous with people working from home now?
100%.
What are those injuries?
A lot of people are coming in with sort of anterior hip pain, which I didn't really, if I'm honest, I didn't really see that much of prior to lockdown and this whole situation. And I think that is down to sitting. I think people are going from their desk to sitting and eating, and then sitting on their sofa. And I think that compression through the anterior aspect of your hip is causing people to get a lot of tightness through their anterior hip flexors. So there's a lot more hip pain, quite a bit of knee pain as well.
Is that because of more people running?
Yeah, more people running in the wrong shoes. Which has been an interesting debate. I spend my life trying to convince people that shoes are important. But yeah, so I think it's running, but also just, you know, HIIT training. Obviously there's quite a lot of jumping involved. And so I think it's just putting different stresses on your body that your body's not used to, and then as a consequence people experience different types of injuries.
And earlier you mentioned about people being on their devices a lot more, so you're getting a lot of back and neck pain. One thing I've noticed is that because I'm a personal trainer normally, so I'm a lot used to kind of being on my feet all the day, but obviously since being on lockdown I've been doing a lot more video sessions, so I find myself sitting down looking at a desk, and I kind of feel myself kind of kicking my back or always rotating my back a lot more. Is that something that you've kind of noticed as well?
Yeah, I mean, definitely people. Did you just say you're clicking your back?
Yeah, I kind of just
kind
of twist away in my chair.
Any of my patients that are watching this, I've seen you come into the group as well. They'll know that I'm actually having an internal heart attack.
Oh, is that not good?
It's not ideal. Like, I mean, it depends. If you're like what a lot of people do, which is like self-click themselves like regularly. See, look, they know. If then for me it's not working. Your body, if you're having to do it repeatedly, basically, then it means you're not targeting the right area.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's just when I'm sat down for long periods of the day doing back-to-back sessions, I kind of just feel like I need to just twist my body a little bit, and then it kind of feels all right after that. But I'm kind of not used to sitting down for such long periods of day. You know, I'm used to being up on my feet, walking around a lot. So yeah, this is kind of completely new to me. So kind of what would you advise those who are kind of working from home and are, you know, trying to prevent any kind of issues?
So I always say, like, my top tip is that a lot of people are drinking like from water bottles at the moment, and I keep my easiest tip is to replace it with a glass of water, because it will make you get up more every time it empties. So there's that. Setting an alarm on your phone as well, and just saying, like, you know, I need to get up and just do 3 laps of the room that you're in. I think people think of movement as being like this massive song and dance, you know, and actually when it osteopathically, I don't even know if that's a word, I think I just made it up, but anyway, sounded good. Osteopathically, it's any movement is good movement. You know, it's so important. Our bodies were created to move, and so any movement is good movement.
Yeah.
So if that's setting an alarm, moving around, invest in a good chair. Like,
yeah, in terms of like positioning, so I was one of those in the early part of lockdown. I was doing sessions in my sofa, slouching. I've now come to an upright seat. But yeah, what would you kind of recommend in terms of people's seating positions?
So the standard thing is to bring your screen up, so that it's as close to eye level as possible, because you want to reduce the gradient of your head looking down, because the more you look down, the heavier your head gets and the more pressure through your neck and shoulder muscles. So lift up your screen. Definitely have a chair that goes up and down, and has armrests. Armrests are actually important.
Oh, really?
And yeah, definitely. Armrests are really important. And what I find is a lot of tall people, always have a chair that's like too short for them at the back. And there's a lot to be said about if you've got a chair where the back of it comes up, you want to make sure that the top of it is level with your shoulders, because it really does make a difference.
How am I doing so far?
I mean, that's actually not that bad. I mean, it's a rubbish chair.
Thanks.
but because it doesn't go up and down. So, you know.
But what about those who don't have, you know, desk chairs in their house and just have to kind of make do? Is like working from the sofa a no-no?
100% a no-no.
Okay.
Like, it would hurt me. Hurts my eyes.
Yeah.
So sofa is a no. Bed is a no.
Okay.
And yeah, you just need to try and invest. I mean, you can get chairs that go up and down with armrests for 20 quid.
Yeah, just true.
You know, I know they're not great. And yeah, they might not be perfect, but they are 100 times better than the chair that you're sat on.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. And in terms of like stretches or mobility, is there anything that people can kind of do?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen obviously the stretch sessions that you guys do, and that you do as part of your club, and I think they're really, really good. Again, it doesn't have to be a song and dance, you know. It's good to just do some gentle stretches, for your neck and your lower back quite easily, and not forget your legs, your hips and your hamstrings. And that can really sort of just ease the tension throughout the day.
Yeah, I know you mentioned that you said like over the years you've kind of noticed a kind of trend of injuries kind of progressing. Do you see that getting any better, or are we just going to get progressively worse?
Do you know, I actually see it getting better.
Okay.
That's a really good question, actually. I've not been asked that. And I think I do see it getting better, because I think that people are becoming so much more health conscious because of this situation that we're in. And I really do. I've seen a massive increase in people wanting to look after themselves, and realizing the impact of things like osteopathy on your body, and having preventative treatment, and realizing that you don't need to be crawling through my door in order to need treatment.
Okay. So how would
yeah.
I know? How would I know if I need to see you or not? What are the signs to look out for?
In my opinion, I just think you should all get checked, you know. Like, I mean, there are ways, like you could just take your top off and look in the mirror, for instance, and if there are imbalances, if your one shoulder is higher than the other, or you might notice your hips are slightly rotated, things like that may indicate, oh, okay, it might be worth getting a check. But it's to be honest, I genuinely think that it's good to just have a check, because, you know, majority of osteopaths don't want to see you. Like, they want you to come in when you're not injured.
Okay.
You know, they want you to come in and go, oh, okay, that, you know, you just need a bit of tweaking there. Okay, see you later. See you in a year or whatever.
Oh wow, is that how long it?
Well, if you come in and you're not totally out of whack, then yeah. Basically.
So being an osteopath is not all about just clicking people's necks and things like that. There is more to it.
Yeah. Everyone thinks that I mean, I guess that's a party trick, right? So
yeah.
A lot of my patients like filming their neck crack and then putting it on their Instagram, and then people are like, oh my god, I might die. But no, you definitely won't. And it's so much more than that. We do lots of soft tissue work, mobility work, exercise rehabilitation. You know, I think, yeah, people underestimate how much we know as osteopaths. We really do sort of take it, I believe, to that next level, and really do follow through with our patients, and especially with myself and my team. You know, if we can't help, it's about referring you to someone who can. So yeah.
So what would like a typical session be like?
So what people do is they come in for treatment, and they initially sit down. We do a medical case history. So that's when the osteopath will take a look at what their current situation is, and then look at their past history, their family history, if they're on any medication or anything like that, because all these things obviously affect it as well. And then after that, we do a full examination. So that's orthopedic, neurological examination, and come to a diagnosis, tell the patient what's wrong with them, and give them a prognosis. Obviously, everyone's different. And then give them treatment, which involves like soft tissue, like mobility, that sort of stuff. But yeah, it is interesting, because people do come in and they're like, am I fixed now? You know, like after one session. And I always ongoing. And I mean, it's good you're a personal trainer, because I always use personal training as an example. It's like my go-to thing now. I'm always like, do you go to a personal trainer for one session and then go, oh, is that it? Am I like fit now?
Yeah, yeah,
No.
yeah.
It's like, no, mate. Our bodies do not react as quickly as trying to get a Deliveroo on our phone. I think a lot of us are so used to stuff being so quick now that when it comes to their body and like having to slow down and give it a break or stretch, or people can't get their head around it.
Okay, so I'm just going to open it to the floor because I know we haven't got long. Does anyone have any questions that they'd like to kind of ask ANISHA? Anything relating to like their posture or anything really, and hopefully she can give you a few tips. With yourself, so do you get looked at as well?
Yeah, I think I mean, I like to practice what I preach, and so prevention is better than cure. So I think it's important to try and see your I've got an amazing team of osteopaths, and I wouldn't sort of go without having treatment from them as well.
And how often do you see an osteopath yourself?
I try and get treated every 8 weeks or so.
Okay, that often?
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, it depends on what you do. I think, if we think of your body like being a car, someone like yourself, if you're doing kind of these home workouts and HIIT sessions every single day, it's the equivalent of having a car that you're taking to Edinburgh every single day, compared to someone else who may be taking their car for 20 minutes down the road and back again. So it's just about how often do you see a mechanic according to how much you're pushing your machine.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I've got a question for you. Is an osteopath someone who you should see regularly regardless of aches and pains?
Yeah. In one word, yeah. Obviously, 100%.
Well, you would say.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's important. It's important to get checked, whether you have aches or pains or not. In my opinion, why ever have aches or pains? You should be living your life aches and pains free.
True, true. Anyone else with any other questions before we let ANISHA go? This is your time.
The time.
Maybe they're a bit shy. All right,
Probably.
if you could give us like one kind of top tip, what would it be? How often should I stretch? Is that something I should do daily, or I mean, I do it daily, but I mean, for those listening in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think people should stretch daily. And my top tip, I would say, actually, if I was going to give one tip, it's sleep. Sleep is like the one thing research has shown that sleep is like the one thing that consistently has an impact on something like lower back pain. So sleep hygiene, things like that, I think are actually more important than people realize in terms of their body actually recovering from an injury as well.
Sleep hygiene, what's that? Is that just taking a shower before you go to bed, or?
No. So sleep hygiene is the whole kind of like limiting your phone usage, the whole blue light shenanigan,
yeah.
Turning off your TV, listening to nice music, spraying your pillow with lavender, all that kind of jazz.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we've got no questions. Any more questions? Doesn't seem to be. Everyone's shy, or either everyone's shy, or they already have an osteopath, or they're in perfect nick.
Or they're already my patient and they're like, I'll just ask her tomorrow.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us, ANISHA, on a Sunday evening. Really appreciate you taking your time out to kind of talk to us and give us some tips and talk about what you do as an osteopath. Really appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you.
No, thank you for coming. But yeah, I hope you kind of enjoy the rest of your evening and back to work tomorrow. Are you
Yeah.
working in the clinic? Yeah. Oh, we've got one
Yeah.
question. How do you get rid of knee pain? It's a
Okay.
bit general, but yeah.
That is. Um, that that's very specific. But it's really difficult for me to tell you how to get rid of your knee pain because I don't know what's causing your knee pain because I can't see it. So yeah, I I would say get it checked. It's so difficult. I mean, I could give you advice right now, but it could be the wrong advice and it could make
Yeah.
you worse. So
And is it true that sometimes the where the pain originates is not necessarily where the issue is?
absolutely, yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, if someone with knee pain, you know, I can't see where they're weight bearing. I can't see if their hip is out. I can't see if they've actually sprained their ankle 5 years ago that's predisposed their knee to go out. So it's all that's as an osteopath, that is what we would look at.
Okay, so you wouldn't
Yeah.
just look straight at my knee.
No, we'd look at the entire chain of events.
Fair enough, fair enough. Oh, one last question. What is the best type of mattress to sleep on?
Um, I quite like a pocket sprung with a memory foam layer. That's typically what I'd advise, but again, it's like there's no one mattress that fits you, and I appreciate all these answers are really vague.
Yeah, yeah.
But it really is about you, and I would say a mattress is such an important investment, given that we spend a third of our lives asleep.
Yeah, yeah.
But I would recommend actually really looking. I think a lot of places now do a mattress assessment and things like that, so it's worth doing those.
Okay, great. All right, well, thank you, Anisha. Pleasure
No
again.
worries.
And enjoy the rest of your evening and take care.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Have a
See
nice
you later.
evening.
Bye.
Bye.